To say that I was a willing participant in discovering Christ would be a lie. Let me begin by saying that when my husband approached me with the idea of attending a 7-week religious course, I simply ignored his email. Some background. My husband goes to Mass daily. He never misses Mass. He has a deep faith that I was always impressed with. But me, I'm more of what I would always say a holiday Catholic. I go for the big days like Christmas and Easter, but all those other days, not for me. That's not to say that I don't pray on my own, but I wouldn't say that I had a relationship with God. And I had not received communion in years, and I hadn't been to confession in close to 10 years, but more on that in a minute. So to say that I was enthusiastic about attending class, hardly. I agreed, almost unwillingly and despite him, to attend one class, and I never intended to come back. On the first day of what I refer to as Jesus class, I realized that my husband and I were not sitting together, and I thought, it's weird, but okay, I'll give it a shot. I knew most of the women at my table as regular churchgoers, members of our parish family, but I made it clear from the start that I was not a willing participant, and I was most definitely not like them because I was strictly a holiday Catholic. As the evening progressed, I found myself intrigued. Our discussions were interesting, and we all openly shared things right from the start. To my surprise, I was actually looking forward to the following week. As each week progressed, our conversations were always interesting. I found myself truly enjoying the videos. The speakers were relatable and not preachy as I had expected. I even found myself listening to the Praise and Glory station on Spotify, which total departure for me. As the retreat approached, I began to feel that this was going to be something big for me. The facilitators had recommended going to confession if at all possible. But as I had said, it had been years since my last confession, and I wasn't even sure I wanted to go. However, on that particular Saturday, just a few days before the retreat, I was out shopping and I just felt like I needed to go. Something in me felt strongly. God was speaking to me. So I Googled a few churches and off I went in search of reconciliation. The first church that I arrived at, it was locked, so no confession. More Googling, off I went, church number 2. Again, locked. So at this point, I thought, maybe I misheard the calling. Should I just give up? After all, it was dark, it was getting late, I had plans for dinner. But that feeling, it just wouldn't go away. God was calling to me, and I knew what I had to do. So church number 3, my home parish. At last, the church was open, and the priest was there. However, he wanted to do a face-to-face confession, which I was a little nervous about. The moment I sat down, my tears started flowing. These were tears of pure joy, relief, and gratitude that had brought me there. Even talking about it now makes me feel like I'm going to cry. The Holy Spirit was with me, and I just felt it in my soul. The next day, it was Sunday, so I went to Mass, and I received Jesus for the first time in many years. I saw my table mates from Jesus class, and I knew that they were happy that I had come so far. Our parish priest, who sat with me while I cried, was the one to give me the Eucharist, and I felt like I had come home. When the day of the retreat arrived, I was excited to see my table mates and share with them my experience. But little did I know, the Holy Spirit would again call to me. I decided to get up and have the prayer team pray with me. I felt that calling again, and I knew what I had to do. So when they put their hands on my shoulders, once again, the tears came. Tears of such gratitude and joy. It's a feeling that I wish I could bottle and give to everyone. The Holy Spirit was with me and really letting me feel his love. Since that time, I have completed the entire course. So yes, the Holiday Catholic has attended all 3 courses. Discovering Christ, it's because of discovering Christ that I discovered my own faith. And I say discovered rather than recovered because I really didn't have a faith before. I'm much more thankful for this gift than words could ever convey. It's through this faith that I have been able to navigate the highs and lows of life. When a dear friend of mine passed away this fall, I used my faith to get through it. I prayed with her sister. I encouraged her to help my friend receive the gift of reconciliation. And I was so happy that she was able to have that complete gift of forgiveness and she could pass knowing that Jesus loved her and forgave her. And also, I recently became a lector for my local parish. If you had asked me a year ago if any of these things would have happened, I would have said, not a chance. So my advice to anyone who is on the fence about discovering Christ is just this. Try it. Even one session. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I'm so happy that I did.